Here it is. Right?
Nice picture.
Why am I doing that?
It's like the first or second worst picture I think I've ever seen of you.
Why am I backing out my ass? Guten Tag! I look the part, don't I? Get on the wide angle. Have a look. Ready? Do I look strapping?
Speak German to us.
Sprechen die Deutsch?
Oi, sprechen die Deutsch.
Sick.
What does that mean?
That's literally Australian.
What does that mean?
Oh, does that-
I speak German.
No,
Yeah.
Isn't it? Do you speak English?
I don't know, mate.
Nah, because
But-
it's got the word Deutschen, which would be German.
So,
Deutschland.
Oktoberfest, we've just missed an absolute smacker, right? If we all, as the Wafflin boys, went to Oktoberfest, that would have been the best video I think we've ever made.
Next year, sick cunt.
Next year.
So I think
100%.
moving forward, we 100% need to go into different places. Let us know in the comments if you'd enjoy seeing that, because we just missed something that everyone would have wanted to see. And it was the first time.
I saw some videos of you there, actually.
Oh, here we go. Wait, okay, go on.
Was that?
Well,
That wasn't Packet.
Oh, okay. Well,
That was Flower.
So,
Because you were filming with some Australian legend.
yeah,
This-
before
this-
we get too crazy, yes, this was the first time I drunk in a year and a half.
how good is that, by the way?
And yes, this was a lot of new cultural experiences that may or may not be appropriate to show on this television
And it was
program.
beer.
It was beer.
Do you like
yeah.
beer now?
So I fucking hate beer, if I'm honest. Right?
And went to Oktoberfest.
I went to Oktoberfest more than anything of like, I want to experience culture.
Shut the fuck up.
Mate,
Oh yeah, I want to experience culture.
yeah, no, mate, I
You've
do.
gone for a piss up, own it.
No, I went there originally going, I'm not going to drink, right? But then these sick cunts, right? These absolute Aussie, these Aussie YouTubers called Bread Gang, right? They were with my friend, who was called Ben, and
You have a friend.
I have other friends. It was
Fuck is Ben?
It was the geezer that helped me on the volcano documentary.
Okay.
He was filming for them, and they were just like loose. And I got initiated, right, with a beer bong. This person,
A beer bomb.
yeah. So they like
One that went in your mouth.
yeah. In order
Yeah.
to go into the camp, it was like you've got to do a beer bong.
Sorry, the camp.
I was camping.
Yeah, they all count.
Oh, I did not know it was like a festival. I did
It
not
is-
know. I thought you just rock up.
No, so this Australian travel company's campsite, I was welcomed into the staff camping area, right? But as part of the initiation, I had to do a beer bong. And I sat there and thought, right, I don't drink, I don't do anything, I must sit here and do nothing. But then part of me was like, well, mate, right?
laugh.
Get,
Yeah, literally.
get involved.
Crack a smile.
Just like actual get involved. So I did one beer bong and I hadn't eaten any breakfast. And it went straight to my head.
Hey, you fucking sound like such a loser right now. Sorry. Gee, I hate to break it to you.
Why?
You're just like talking about like your first beer. I didn't drink. It really went to my head. I got so drunk.
Yeah, so I had that first beer and it gave me a bit of a fizzy type of feeling. And then I put the outfit on.
What is a beer bong, first of all?
A beer bong is like
Like a funnel?
fucking funnel.
You did like a butt chug?
It's not a butt chug. It's where you basically fill up this container with beer and it's got a big
Oh, it's a beer
pipe.
funnel.
It's got like a big pipe on it and you just like, and it goes, you basically down the whole pint in one.
So, first part of the initiation, beer funnel. Tick.
Yeah.
You got a buzzy feeling. Tick.
I did.
Are you initiated there, or did you have to do any other ceremonial position?
No, at this point it was then we have to get into the uniform. Because like, yeah, the lederhosen, right? Which is what I'm wearing right now. For those of you on Spotify or audio, you can't see my strapping outfit, but it's good.
By the way, you should be really grateful to have that, because that looks like a traditional one.
Mate, it's legitimate.
Yeah, oh.
Oh, God.
Right, it's extra legitimate.
Real lederhosens are quite
Yeah.
expensive, I think.
And I was like, once I put this on and we were in this like new group of new people that I didn't know, Aussies, Germans, Kiwis, I just felt like I'm part of something, right? And then we get the bus and have another beer
A bus? Oh, to the camp.
to the train station. And then we get the train and have another beer. And then by the time I get there, I'm a bit wankered, right? But at this point, you get there, mate, and there's like 250,000 people there.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Is that how many people?
Yeah, mate, it's
fucking
mental. It's just
massive.
tent, right?
It's not tent. It's like halls. So big
Viking halls.
fucking halls that people are queuing up to get into that are filled to the brim with people. But then there's also like rides and food places with legitimate, authentic German food.
Wait, yeah, that is literally
Like
sausage,
pork knuckle.
And German sausage, I'm guessing.
And bratwurst.
Did you have it with the curry sauce?
No.
Oh.
I didn't have that.
That's
But
literally a bratwurst, isn't it?
basically, you get
Curry
there
burst,
and,
that.
and
Yeah.
everyone's in the outfits, but they're all steaming. And I will say the difference, if this was in England, there'd be so many fights and all of that. But everyone was just on the same vibe of just enjoyment.
It's because I feel like they do have Oktoberfest in England, though. And I feel like when you get dressed up and you're drinking, you had Steins, right?
I had Steins. I think there's 2 litre
It's
beer.
the 2 litre Stein, yeah.
Yeah.
But there is like a no animosity sort of vibe there. I feel like everyone's like, yoo-hoo, because I'm a blowout, and like going a bit mental. It's really fun.
What?
You know?
I'm a blobber.
No, yoo-hoo, because I'm a blowout.
Big summer blowout.
Yeah, you know, yoo-hoo.
But the thing is that Oktoberfest is actually like, that's a German tradition, isn't it?
It's incredible.
So that it's like, when we do it over here, it's not like officially
No.
Oktoberfest. It's like kind of like a B-Tech version.
So had you never been to like a beer keller before?
Beer Keller.
Yeah.
Who's that?
What the hell is that?
Is that like a beer festival?
You, sort of. You've never been to a beer. Wow, that's embarrassing. A beer keller is like, you know the halls you were in
Yeah.
with the long tables.
Yeah.
A beer keller is essentially like they
Like
have
the
it on-
darts?
No.
Oh.
You go into like they have one in like Vauxhall area or London Bridge, and you go in these long tables and they sell steins, and everyone gets on the table and starts singing, and it's really good fun.
Well, that's what it was. And it was like, you know, there was a live band and everyone was passing around this white substance, right? And I'm like, well, that's packet, right? Immediately I think that's what it is, but it's not. They're selling it in the venue and it's mint, right? I'll show you some images now.
Mint?
It's mint. It's this, it gives you like almost like a buzz, but like having a chewing gum gives you a bit of a, you know, when you have a really minty Airwaves chewing gum, it's like that, and it's designed to be snorted. And everyone was like,
what?
putting it on people's tits, putting it on your hands, and it was like, it just looks like everyone's doing coke around this room, but they're not, and they're selling it in the venue. And I'm just like, oh, okay.
The mintiness up your nose must have been a kind of wild.
Yeah, it was, and it does give you a bit of a buzz. If anything, I'd say awakens you. So say if you're getting a bit smashed on the beer, it wakens you up. So
Gets rid of beer breath.
Yeah,
as well, I'm
didn't there
guessing.
used to be that thing where like people would, there was like it was air almost that you could like squirt up your nose that was like minty. So it's meant to give you like a big buzz and like waking you up.
never heard of that in my
Sinex
life.
spray.
Nah, not that.
Sudafed?
No.
I don't know.
No,
but
there was an actual thing like that. But you know that you drunk, obviously.
Yeah.
The first time in a long time. Did it make you regret not drinking for so long?
No, not at all. I
Really?
tell you what, I forgot how fun drinking is. Like,
Yeah.
And I know that's
But
like,
also in that environment as well.
yeah. I said to myself, I was like, look, if I'm gonna do it, Oktoberfest is the time to do it, and I
Agreed.
just went for it full send, right? And I just had a beer after beer, and I had so much fun with these
Yeah.
people that I've just met, but we were all on a vibe, and it was like, this is incredible. I was getting on people's shoulders, and I was just having a boogie. And I can do those things obviously sober, but there was an element of just us all being on that same
Not
wave.
caring.
And it was like zero inhibitions and pure, just like absolutely loving the present
Elation.
moment. And yeah, I would say that it then went into the night, and we did a DJ set.
Yeah,
Sort of-
how did that happen?
So one of the Aussie YouTubers I was with, he was performing at the campsite event afterwards, like the after party, and we were just up there, and I was a hype man more than anything, but it was just so much fun. Like I've DJ'd sober, but like you feel definitely more stiff compared to that. It was just pure fun, and I will say that's probably like one of the best nights I've had, like definitely this year, but
Ever.
in a long time. But bruv, we're now like 5 days after, and like I've only just got over the hangover and like the sadness and like the feeling low that comes with that. It almost makes you a different person. I will just be real. That is how it's felt.
But you are also 28 now.
No, but mate, I've always, when I was 14,
Yeah, well, I've always had
I've
bad
always had it, mate. I
hangovers.
think I'm bipolar as fuck.
No,
Think
but
about it.
I think also you felt a little bit sadder because you're still processing the breakup
true.
and everything. That is always the worst thing. Like when you've had a breakup, you go out, have beers, you have loads of fun, wake up the next day, you're all on your own.
But you also got to remember, though, it is also that like post-festival blues is a real thing.
You've
Where you've
also
had
got
such
that.
a high, and then you come back to like reality and normal life, and it's like that life can't live up to that high that you've just had. And you basically were at a festival. That's essentially what it was.
Yeah.
But with like incredible German music, which just makes everyone feel 10 times better. It really does. Like
Incredible German music.
Yeah, like there's something. Did they play it?
They're doing Sweet Caroline. No, they did do that.
No, but you know,
some.
You
but
know the whole like
The German clap.
Yeah. There was some of that.
I
Yeah.
love that shit. It's like it's like you're in a ski resort.
Yeah, it was kind of those vibes.
Yeah.
It's like you're in a little world. And don't get me wrong, I didn't come straight home from Munich. I then went to Barcelona to hang out with friends, right?
I saw that.
And so I was still busy, but regardless, I was still in that lower vibrational sadness. And it was like, yeah, I was distracted, but I was like, fuck, man, like this is why I stopped drinking when I went traveling, because like you're then spending your days where you're in these amazing places feeling low, and it was like, oh shit, like I don't want to feel like this. Whereas like the day of arriving to Oktoberfest and like the days leading up to it, I was like buzzing. And I'm like, for that extreme high, is it worth then sacrificing the 5 days that you're giving, almost feeling like this lower version of yourself?
That, like you can succumb to a hangover sometimes. Like, do you ever get it where you'll probably resonate more with this? You go out drinking on a Saturday night or whatever. You wake up Sunday. If you laze about, do nothing, don't get out of bed, the hangover is 10 times worse than getting up and just going out.
Yeah, but that's what we did. We went cycling around Barcelona.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And took pickies.
Do you know what though? I think you fall into the trap of like overthinking your sadness hangover. So obviously that hangover is you just feel shit, you feel a bit groggy for the next few days, and yeah, I guess you are sad, but I'm not there thinking like, oh God, I'm so sad. Like how do I combat it? You sort of just have to attack it.
Yeah.
You have to just keep yourself busy, and eventually when you stop thinking about it, it's gone.
Yeah, no, I totally get you, my brother. But I'm talking like literally like this, the day 2 at Oktoberfest. So after the night before, day 2, and my confidence is down. My like,
Yeah, so we get back on it.
No,
Yeah,
but
but
I
that's
don't want
because-
to. I did then drink some more beers, but I don't know. It just does. I just have to say, be real.
But that is true, mate.
I feel what I feel, and I guess some other people might do as well. And it's like, what do we do about
perfectly
this?
valid, but also at the same time, like at Tomorrowland, you know,
Yeah.
you go pretty hard.
Yeah, you did loads of Mandy.
I didn't ever do
Oh,
that.
shit, yeah, no, we
Literally-
didn't do that.
Literally didn't do that
Okay,
at all.
yeah. I need to stop doing
that's
that,
actually
didn't I?
factually wrong as well. I did not do that. I actually didn't do that. I didn't.
It would be disgusting if you did.
No, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Anyways, my point is, obviously you wake up like after the Friday, you've got 2 more days ahead of you, right?
Yeah.
And you are feeling a bit crap, but it's really bad. But if you just start and it's a bit slow, it's a few hours, it's like, oh, I don't want to drink. And then at some point you cross over the hill. And then you're fine and you just keep doing that never-ending cycle.
No, I'm just drinking. See, like that, and that's no. Like,
Yeah, but that's
nah.
part of the game. Like, especially if you're at a
The
festival.
game's the game.
No, I know, and I've lived all that thing. I've done like the Glastonbury. I've done all of that with all of you boys. We've
Yep.
smashed it, and like I always just come away like either resenting where I've just been or what we've just done. So like,
Yeah, obviously when you get home, it's horrible.
But I
yeah.
feel like this perception of
whatever.
Oktoberfest now, though, you actually haven't resented it. I'm
No,
getting the
I
impression.
haven't resented it because I was like, I'm going to remember this.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember how good it is. And like, fuck, I'm now, it's not like now I'm going, right, I'm going to drink again forever and whatever. But, I don't know.
It's all in moderation. It's all in moderation.
Do you feel
had
like
a
now
great
you've
time?
lifted like the limitation on yourself of like, I can't drink there. I'm not saying you're going to go out every weekend and drink, but now if there's an event, will you be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll have a beer?
No.
Really?
Fuck no.
Oh.
Why would I just have a beer just to have a beer? I'm either getting wankered
No, that's
or I'm
what-
not doing it at
Such
all.
a terrible.
That's what I mean.
That's literally
Just having a beer,
That's
what?
binge drinking.
No,
mate.
no, mate. Look, this is the thing. Like, when I say get wankered, it's not let me get as drunk as possible, right? It's more of just like, let me like go with the flow and just drink,
Yeah.
and just keep drinking. Not like I'm only having 2. Like it would just be let's fully send it is what I'm saying.
Oh, I agree with that.
But like this thing of just having a casual beer, like
No, I don't
see
do that.
no
No,
objective
that's
of
also
that.
like not what I meant. I meant like have a beer as in like get fucked up.
Yeah,
Like-
like for example, what Luke's saying, it's not like, so I don't casually drink at home, like I never do that, right? But say I'm going to a wedding or a birthday
Yes.
party. Be like, oh yeah, I can let loose now. I can have a beer. Or
Yeah, like,
8.
if I was to have a party next month and you were invited, would you get smashed?
No.
Depends to what extent the party is. Is
Why
it an
would I do
important
that?
party?
Just have sadness for the next 5 days after that. Fuck that. Like that is honestly where I'm at. Like I'm just like, I look at how I can feel like 10 out of 10. Why would I then just like inject myself
But-
with sadness.
But you said to me on the train
this
that like
Oktoberfest
drinking,
is-
you had so much more
I
fun.
did have so
You
much
said this is
more
one of
fun.
the best nights of your
Yeah, it
life.
it
Why
was.
would
So
you
you not have to take the
invitations
good
on
with
it
the
then?
bad.
And then it's just like, how can I fucking... I just don't want the after effects, bruv.
Well, you can't.
Part of the game.
You can't have everything.
No, I know. It's like, in so many ways, I want my cake and I want to eat it at the same time. I want to be cuddled, Theo. I'd want a cuddle, mate. I want to be cradled. No, mate, bruv, I'll be real. Like, it's like right now, this past 5 days, I would love nothing more than just be cradled, told that it's all okay.
Yeah, but that, mate, that's a
in
no-
like the loving arms of
Stop. Stop. But that's also a perfectly normal thing when you're single, or maybe when you're single just after a relationship. So you've had the previous,
Recently single.
That is just the way it is, right? You have not. There's
I
nothing.
just
more,
want to text her saying I love you.
Okay, well, don't do that. But that is very normal. Like you, when you're hungover and feeling a bit sad, like you instantly go to the thing that maybe will bring you happiness short term,
No, but
long term, that's not going to bring you happiness, mate.
That's very true, and you know that. You've been there.
And you know that.
There's a reason you are where you are now.
yeah, but I want it to work. No, we're not going to go there, all
You
right?
don't-
We're not
Yeah,
going to go
you know-
there.
you know-
You
we
don't
should
want it
t-
to work though, because if I'm being honest,
I love her.
No, okay, fair enough, right?
Okay.
Fair enough. You love her, okay? Well, so you think,
What?
you know?
Kitchen sink?
But look at the last 2 weeks, right? You've made so much progress, and you just said you had the happiest night of your life.
Happiest night of mine. I had a quality night.
There you go.
I did like,
So just ride the wave,
yeah,
man.
I'll keep riding
Like,
it,
what would
bro.
the Australians do?
They'd be dog cunts.
No, they would surf the wave.
They would.
Right now, you're not surfing, buddy.
No, I will surf.
You're not. You're
I'm gonna
swimming.
surf.
You're swimming the wave. You might even be
going to-
bodyboarding the wave, but you're not surfing the wave. You're going in and out of the wave.
I just don't understand the metaphor.
That actually does make perfect
No,
sense.
it does make perfect sense.
Does
I'm
it?
going
Dumb,
to Dubai next Wednesday. But like, the thing is, right, okay, do you boys have this where you could be like different versions of yourself and you don't know which one's going to turn up?
Oh, that's really interesting. You said that.
It's like borderline personality
I watched
disorder or
this.
something?
Have you seen the recent Jim Carrey stuff?
No.
Very interesting. You might relate to this actually.
Go on, tell me.
So he's talking about like Jim Carrey. We should actually look out for Jim Carrey right now because he's clearly going through something.
I mean, he's been going through something a lot since his.
Yeah, his wife died.
yeah.
His wife died, but he's
Wife or
basically having this
girlfriend, yeah.
identity crisis of, you know, he's feel like his whole life he's been playing all these characters like Ace Ventura or Bruce Almighty,
Yeah.
and he said, I always feel like I was playing Jim Carrey,
Oh.
as in, he'd be this happy-go-lucky guy on TV shows. He said, I've now got to a point in my life where I don't know who I am. Because he feels that Jim Carrey's now become like an act and he needs to try and figure out, and he said, who am I? What am I? He needs to try and figure out like who he actually is. Because, you know, he is obviously Jim Carrey. That is him, right?
Yeah.
That is him, but he doesn't know what he is.
Because he's got a very distinct acting style as well. Like
He does, yeah.
you could tell it was Jim Carrey without like even seeing it's Jim Carrey.
Yeah. But he obviously went through a lot of loss and grief. I think it was his wife, wasn't it?
It was like wife or girlfriend. It was definitely like a significant partner.
So I don't know whether you can relate to that. Do you find yourself feel like you're acting Joe Weller? Like, who is Joe?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. No,
See what I mean?
I do feel you on that. Maybe going away traveling and all that. That's almost who I'm trying to discover. This squeaky chair's not good though. Yeah, that's maybe who I'm trying to discover. Like, and maybe that love and that void that I'm currently experiencing, I'm just trying to fill it.
What love? As in like for your you bring up your
No. It's like I don't know. Oh fuck. No, just like
But what I think you should do, Joe, is you should
What,
definitely be
Theo?
focusing on, like, you know how you spun this, that you've had this amazing weekend,
Yeah, I have.
and you should think about how amazing it was rather than
Yeah.
thinking about how you're hungover and sad.
Yeah,
Which
focus
is
on the good.
very normal. Like, that's a normal thing to do. Like, people get hungover and sad after doing different things and going on nights out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, rather than that, you should focus on, I fucking went to Oktoberfest,
Yeah,
mate.
it's
Yeah.
sick.
I
And
did
if-
it. I hung out with the dogs.
And if you
Yeah.
look back to like all those like proper like big nights in your life, like look back to Glastonbury, do you think about how you felt the week after?
Yeah,
Or
I
you
do.
think-
Yeah. I
Do
can't-
you?
Yeah.
That's really-
I can't not, mate. It was like the worst sleep paralysis of my life for that. Like
Sleep
awful.
para-
Yeah, it was awful. Like the house burning down and all sorts. Like it was awful in my dreams, and I couldn't escape it. That's the thing. Like I do have that. Like when we've gone to Ibiza and all these types of things, my mind can't not focus on how awful I felt afterwards, rather than focusing on the good time that we had.
That's crazy.
And that's where I like get rid of it. And if anything, my mind does automatically do that, where it would be like accidentally fixate on the bad, and maybe that, like, you know, maybe that can be an issue that has occurred in relationships.
You know, like previous festivals you've been to, like for example, when I look back at like Reading Festival 2013.
Yeah.
Shit, now.
Yeah, a long time ago, right? 11 years ago. I can guarantee you every day I woke up feeling like shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I'd have no memory of that. All I could think about is being on Stannard's shoulders watching Not Afraid by Eminem.
Yeah,
I just thinking that's the best time I've ever had in my life.
What do you reckon causes that fixation for you to either go
It's a mindset.
on positive or negative? It almost feels like you can't control it unless you sit there and go, "Let me think of the positives. Let me bottle up the actual reality of what I actually think. Let me just pretend that I'm only going to focus on the good."
It's not
in
that.
reality. It's like your mind is in it. Like, will do your best. What's best for survival, right? And if it goes, well, that made me feel like shit. It's going to go. Remember that, so you don't do it again.
I think it's just what period of life you're in right now. Like for example, you know when you break up with someone.
Yes, I know exactly that feeling very well.
But you start thinking about all the good times you've had.
Yeah.
Rather than actually what in reality.
I'd love to. If she walked in here right now, I'd love it.
Okay, right. But my point, that's not my point. My point was like, you think about all the good times you had, where actually in reality, you're forgetting about these bad times and maybe it wasn't working.
Yeah, and how you felt. That is exactly right. You're forgetting about all those feelings that you had and the reason it came to the conclusion that it did come to in the end.
But that's just the mindset you're in right now. Like, for example, if you were in a much more like positive mindset and you were much more like further on in the wave, you would be thinking, fucking hell, I've had a great weekend. Who cares if I'll fucking go on a run now? That'll make me feel a bit better or something like that. Like,
so true, Count.
Like, is the glass...
I need to stop using that word.
Is the glass half full or half empty?
This is 3/4 full, mate.
There you go. You could have said it was 1/4 empty.
I know. No, it's true. Yeah.
What are you going to buy?
I want to talk about
cool. Yeah.
your little Barcelona trip. With
Yeah,
the boys.
mate. I accidentally... So we took
Can you
like...
throw up a picture?
Yeah, right. So this... I went Barcelona with the boys and we took photos around...
Let's throw up a picture.
Yeah, we're going to get there. We took photos around the city. Here it is. Right? Wait.
It's a nice picture.
Why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? I thought that was like a funny pic.
Wait, why did you... What possession?
It's probably actually, it's like the first or second worst picture I think I've ever seen of you.
It's like I'm arching my back. Like I look very fluid there. I look like a fluid man. Why am I backing out my ass?
No, I think that's what you're... No, it's not backing out your ass. It's not about that. It's more like... You woke up in a silly, goofy mood,
Yeah,
didn't you?
I thought I'm just being silly and goofy. It's really uncomfortable.
That might be one of the best photos of
No, it's one of the worst I think I've ever seen.
It is.
And then there's more though. There's more. Like,
No, you did a really nice photo shoot with Edwards, didn't you?
yeah, and then look, there's this one where we look like we're in a partnership, right? And then there's this one. Look at gazing into each other's eyes, where we also look like we're in a partnership. Look at these things. Even just this, mate. I thought we were doing nice, wholesome pics, but in reality,
He was on a photo shoot.
in reality, it's just sort of. Can you not laugh?
Why are you staring into each other's eyes?
Like, what's going on, Brad?
Whose idea was this though?
Mate, it just happened. We're just getting candid pics.
Why are you doing that?
We were just like exploring.
Why are you... I get the whole like, oh, look at me with my pal, but why are you staring at each other?
I don't know, but it just kept happening. We didn't even think that it had happened until we started looking back at the pics like, hang on, why do these all look like this?
It's quite sweet though, isn't it?
It is sweet.
You know, you're
Just a couple 28-year-old lads hanging out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nothing weird about it.
But I just think...
Did you see the Iron Man that was going on there?
There were people wearing Iron Man uniforms, but...
Uniforms.
Why are you going to Dubai?
Why am I going to Dubai? I'm winning an award for like the most...
The most made-up award of all time. How can we get him out there? Oh, yeah, let's give him YouTuber of the Year.
No, I'm winning the most untamed creator. Basically like the biggest like fucking mental man. Untamed Creator Award. And Jason Derulo's going to be there.
Wait,
and so's Lil Pump.
Who's Lil Pump?
What is this made-up award?
It's like an event and I'm winning the award.
What's the actual event?
I don't know, some gaming award ceremony. I don't actually know.
Gaming award.
This is like
ceremony.
those. These are like
know.
those football awards that they hold in like random countries and be like, yeah, you won Player of the Year.
No, I just think it's one of them ones. Big, massive tax evasion scheme.
You say that, mate, when you're going to get flown out for it.
What? They're paying for a holiday for you.
No, I don't know. Can I say that, Dad?
You should be grateful.
Yeah, no, I'm grateful.
And you should put this award on your mantelpiece.
I am. I will.
So you're winning Untamed Creator. Like, do you have to pretend like, oh, who's going to win this when you're out there?
I don't know.
And the nominees are.
But I'm taking it as an opportunity to take a camera geezer out there and just to film and just film whatever happens. We've got an itinerary of things that we're going to knock off. Because when I was at Oktoberfest, watching these Aussie YouTubers, they didn't have a massive elaborate plan of like this amazing thought out YouTube video idea. It was just, we're going Oktoberfest, bring the camera, let's fucking go.
Yeah,
and so many things just happened. And I was thinking like, when I go and do these things that I go and do and travel and whatever, stuff just happens.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, if I just had a camera rolling on this, mate, it would make silly, funny vlog.
Not everything has to be super planned, you know? Like, vlogging is still a thing.
Well, yeah, it's more of just, I think, seeing that raw, real side of my life is actually what could make for better content, rather than me thinking like, oh, I need to come up with this like just race across the world.
Why don't you just become like a vlogger, like a weekly vlogger, or an every now and again vlogger?
I'm thinking of like going, right, pick countries, pick like events that are happening in different countries, go to them with different people each time or whatever, and just fucking film the thing.
Mate, literally go on ChatGPT and Google it and say like, what cool, funny events are happening in the next 3 months in Europe. It will give you a list of things that are happening. Fuck off.
Yeah, mate, that is literally it.
Yeah.
So, and that was inspired by getting wankered at Oktoberfest.
There you go, another positive thing to come out of drinking.
Yeah,
therefore, you should drink loads.
But this is the thing, like if in each place that I go, like I would want to do a night out and like fully send it. But like,
there's nothing wrong with that.
I know there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like the 5 days of sadness. I don't know. That's just.
But you will be more busy if you're doing stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? You won't just wake up and like.
Yeah, like if you're doing stuff for a video, like if you wake up hungover, you can't just be like, oh no, I'm taking the day off. But it's like you've just got to get up and grind.
Yeah, you got to ride it out. Yeah, I know. And
like, imagine the boys in like Val Thorens.
What's Val Thorens?
Like the party capital of the world.
What?
I don't know what that is.
Where?
It's like the ski party capital of the world.
I think we should do a skiing one. By the way,
there's a biggest underground club in Europe.
Yeah,
in the mountains, and throughout the night, get this is kind of cool. Throughout the night, it gets bigger.
Sorry, what?
So when you're in there, you think, oh, this is kind of cramped. You know, it's quite busy. But as more people get in,
what can the walls?
The walls extend.
Holy shit!
And the club gets bigger and bigger, and then it becomes the biggest underground club in the world, in Europe.
That is really cool. Maybe we'll go there,
The
mate.
thing is,
I met some Australians there.
Both you boys can ski.
Yeah, but it's quite funny that you can't.
I can snowboard a little bit. Do you remember when we did it in Dubai?
Yeah.
But I just think, like, what the hell can you do when you're on a skiing holiday? Would it literally just be filming nights out?
You go skiing, film skiing, then you film the night out. But I think the best content arises from throwing the characters into different situations. If you just look at Top Gear, like all they're doing is driving across the country.
Yeah.
But the funny moments happen through maybe certain challenges, but it's them being themselves, and you know, people watch the character of you.
Yeah, because I'm looking at these thought out video ideas. Basically, like I'm sitting down with like pretty decent like content
creatives.
Like creative people and like planning these elaborate ideas. And I'm like, mate, like planned fun can actually just become this big stressful thing. Whereas I'm like, pick a place, take a couple of camera guys that are, because you do it all the proper way of like, this is the plan. We'll get these amazing top of the range camera people in. Next thing you know, you're spending like 20k on a video.
And it's just not fun.
And it's like this crazy thing. And then it's almost like each of the things, you know what's coming. It's all too planned out. Whereas I honestly feel like, the best stuff for me personally as a creator will be pick a place and fucking go, cunt.
Yeah, no, that's true. Like you see different creators who much prefer like they write out, they script all their videos for comedy reasons. But I personally, I'm just more like off the cuff, like off the top of the dome, and just like say it as it comes.
I feel like it is better to have it like less scripted, but you still need like a plan in place, as in like this is happening that day, that's happening that day. In between them, we need to do this.
Or be like, say for example, you go skiing, right, and you throw yourself into different scenarios, which would be quite funny and different challenges. But you could say have 3 generic challenges throughout the day, like you have to down a beer, or you have to go get clothes for the night out, stuff like that. That can just add a bit of structure to the video, but also
you have to dress each other.
You undress each other.
Pick each other's outfits.
Yeah.
Something like that. Well, I'll tell you what was
Silly and
good
goofy.
about like the Oktoberfest outfits. Obviously, I'm wearing the male one, but the female one, I actually think that that's more attractive than just like a naughty like lingerie outfit.
Again, we didn't really ask, but didn't really ask. All right.
Don't worry then. No, but it's me.
But why did you keep filming them though?
Why do you keep filming them? I didn't film it.
Isn't it like kind of like an old like housewives outfit?
Mate, it's like I think no, because there's something about it's respectable. It's like think about it. It's a completely full body outfit, and it's a very respectable thing.
It's a very historic outfit.
Yeah, it's very historic.
Traditional.
Yeah. And there was something about it that was really just like, well,
Appealing?
maybe it's almost like Wifey Material vibes.
Who cooks and cleans? Is that what you're referring to? Is that what you're referring to?
No.
A maid?
No, ooh. Well, it's kind of that sort of vibe, but I just really thought it was really quite nice.
And also they're drinking Steins, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is.
You should fucking live in Germany, mate.
I should. Although it did make me think, right, when I went to visit, like in terms of wifey material, I think we'd all need English, like British English people. Oh no. What I mean by this, wait, don't eat me alive. I mean, our friend lives in Spain, right? He's learnt Spanish, speaks fluent.
Is he speaking Spanish now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, right?
Wow.
But his personality is limited through expressing via this second language. And obviously the people in Spain obviously don't comprehend that like British humour, say, that we have very easily. So it's like the filter of the language plus the actual like cultural difference of the banter. I'm like, especially for my sort of humour, I'm like, surely only someone that's grown up with this sort of culture and humour.
That's true, though.
Will understand me.
It's like with English in America, right? Like all you got to look at is the American in-betweeners, how shit that was.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And a lot of them they don't find the English in-betweeners funny because they haven't grown up on British culture and British
Yeah, but then
humour,
you've
right?
got the American Office that actually banged and is funny.
Yeah, but there is a lot of differences. Like a lot of like Americans don't get British humour and vice versa. Like that is very common with different cultures. Like you may not get their humour. That is just very normal.
Yeah, I know, but it's in like how like you know you want to meet these people all over the world, but is it that like realistically your upbringing and the culture that you've been brought up in and around will always almost hold a bigger weight of what you're compatible with?
We give you a hard time on
No,
this
you do
podcast,
actually,
but-
and like I'd actually like to get to the bottom of that because I went on Low IQ Pod,
Yeah.
right, and actually had some really wholesome, nice comments on that. Even one of our friends messaged me privately and
Really?
said, "Mate, this was a breath of fresh air, like being open and honest and just like."
A breath of fresh. So clearly
as in, like-
they don't watch Wafflin then.
Well, no, well, because on Wafflin, sometimes it could be that maybe, I don't know, playing up and being silly, goofy Weller. And there is a difference between being a guest on a podcast
Yeah, there is.
100%.
and hosting the podcast. It's like, yeah, like, I did feel like I was maybe being raw and just honest and open. And maybe on this pod, maybe sometimes, do I play up? Don't know.
Well, you also have that mentality of when you are the host. It's quite, you know how like when you're in other people's videos, you have that relaxed feeling of I'm not in charge of this. So you're actually almost funnier in other people's videos. Whereas if it's your own video, you have the stress, you have to think about things, and you're not as loose. It's similar to that, I think, actually.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. But yeah, it was nice to do that.
But I feel like we do also give you like the open forum to be honest and raw with us.
Yeah.
I know sometimes like, I mean, our dynamic has always been take the piss out of each other. That's not something that is exclusively to you. Like,
No, I know.
like say like group chat, it is constant to like
Take
each
the
other.
piss.
But I don't necessarily. Well,
I get a lot.
you do. You get a lot. You take a lot of the stick, really. But I feel like when we come here, because you talk mainly,
Yeah.
oh, that's a bad thing. It's a good thing.
Main character syndrome, yeah.
We then
What is
give you a bit of stick for it.
Yeah, banter. Right, what about this? Exposure and leaning into that which, like, you're actually scared of. We've probably spoken about this a lot, but whilst in Barcelona, we established, right? So my friend, not yours, Edwards.
Why is that?
Why is he not my friend?
Isn't he my friend?
He's all of our friend. But he was a bit frightened to try and speak some Spanish to the locals, even though the locals would have really enjoyed that. And if he did do that and they responded nicely, he would have probably had a good feeling. He was a bit scared and nervous.
Does he speak Spanish?
No, but we gave him a few phrases to just order the food. Our other friend wanted a cigarette, and these like attractive women that potentially he could have thought maybe are out of his league had them, but he was too frightened to go over, and maybe out of the fear of rejection, or he was like, I don't want to seem like a creep. And then for me, I guess, yeah, like, I don't know, it would be more easier to approach, say, a female that, how do I frame this? Okay, going over to a female that you think's really attractive is more, that has more potential of rejection. So you might just like refrain from doing that. Whereas if we all did those things, and whether what the worst thing that happens is what Ollie says the Spanish wrong, or the girls don't give him the cigarette, or the girls don't want to hang out with me. It's like, but at least the character build. Oh, I don't know.
I'm not sure if we've discussed. I'm not sure if I've discussed this actually, but they have actually discovered the new part of the brain. Have we discussed?
Well, the Goggins thing.
Yeah, and that actually shows that's prevalent in what you're saying, right? They don't want to do these things. Or people don't want to do these things, like go up to someone new or say something new, but it's because you haven't trained that part of the brain to sort of handle, I guess, rejection or throwing yourself into the deep end. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's just the more you do it, the more you get better at it. But I get it. I get it. Sometimes people just don't want to put themselves in those scenarios.
Yeah, like everyone's worried about like looking stupid or something. Like Edward's first thought would have been like, what if I absolutely butcher it and they like laugh at me? Like that's probably what he would have been thinking. And like Boxer was probably thinking the same about, oh, what if the girls should just.
But in reality, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and basically, I remember seeing, we were sat at a cafe and there was the geezer, a fairly good looking geezer as well, who was trying to usher people into the cafe. So I don't know why people do that. It's actually quite annoying though, isn't it? You know, when you're walking down the street and they're like, come eat in here.
Yeah.
But he was obviously 99 out of 100 times just getting rejected by people. But he was having fun with it and almost like accepting that rejection is a part of life.
Yeah.
And just part of what he's doing. And he was just, regardless, still having fun with it. And he wasn't taking rejection to heart.
And I think because he does that so often as well, that probably transcends into other part of his life.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably, most likely, right?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is like, should we expose ourselves to rejection? Like, should we almost keep doing that? Because then the more you can get weathered to that, the more you can actually take on anything, because the fear of rejection or getting it wrong isn't something 100%. That bothers you, 100%, essentially.
100%.
That's where I'm trying to get to with that. We may have to cut that down a little bit because like that was a bit waffly. But
how do you find rejection? I feel like you're quite good at that, no?
I don't think I'm very good with rejection. I think if you
throw yourself in different scenarios.
I do, but as in like certain types of rejection. Like if your confidence can be really hit by rejection of a certain kind, i.e. with females. If you went over to a female, tried to introduce yourself in a normal way and got rejected and turned down, I mean, that for me would make me feel like shit. They just would. And, you know, I would maybe make my confidence a bit lower. So it's almost like maybe I wouldn't go and do that. But but in an ideal world.
That makes sense though, because you do put a lot of pressure on yourself to, you know, be good with women, and like you have done in the past. Like you growing up was always like, I must make love. Like, but I'm not taking a piss here. That is true though. So that type of rejection for you, it makes sense why if you got rejected, it would reduce your that makes perfect sense. And it's the same with other people in different scenarios. If you're scared to go to a football trial because you're scared of rejection or being let go. Do you know what I mean? Like there are these different scenarios that have been shaped throughout your life, and that just so happens that thing is very prevalent to you.
Also, I don't think I've ever seen you not do something because you're worried about rejection.
No, I know. You'd look at me and go, mate, he's literally doesn't really give much of a toss, to be fair. But
I'm not saying that things don't knock your confidence, but I'm saying I've never seen you actually have that fear of rejection. I'm just saying once you get rejected, that might affect you.
Yeah, maybe. But I definitely would notice, like, if let's say, like, being away traveling, if there was, like, an attractive person, I would maybe not just go over and, like, almost cold call them, i.e., like go up out of the blue and introduce myself. It would be like, if it happens, it just happens. And part of me is like, oh, do you just, you know, you want to attract, not chase.
I get that.
If something's meant to happen, then it will just happen rather than, you know, but if you wait around and wait to attract things and never do the chase or whatever, then you're never actually taking action. You're just waiting when sometimes you need to just.
But there's a friend of mine read this book. I can't remember what it's basically like. It's like a relationship advice book. And one of the advices was so bizarre, but one of them was like, rather than going up to people like that, you know, women or whoever's interested in you look for that sort of alpha behaviorisms.
Yeah.
So, for example, like the guy who is not interested in going up to women, who sits with his mates and is like the life of the party and like clearly joking and not caring, and that center of attention, that is what is attractive to other people.
So that, you're probably going to mock it, but that's like what I do.
Yeah,
That's,
but that's
what I do. But then there's certain occasions where the only way you're going to, like, if there's a female like across from you that can't see that you're just like this center of attention alpha, where you actually would, the only way to interact is going over there, well then what you can do is just look like you're having a good time nearby. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you're not just going to do that. Like, there may be a situation where the only option is to do the thing, and it's almost like ties into that thing of yeah, like normally in the UK it'd be like, oh, people would come over, or you know, so like we mentioned in the first episode,
people know who you are.
People recognise me and would go over, and that's often how I've started in a lot of social interactions, rather than the cold calling people, i.e. going over just out of the blue.
I think going up to people like that is talent in itself. Like, that's just not. It's not like I think every boy struggles with that.
But I'll tell you what, when I used to do public videos in public, like, you know, interviewing, like the first 10 minutes of recording would always be like anxiety hell. Yeah. And then you get to the point of where it's like, oh my God, I can actually go over and talk to anyone. And yeah, some people are going to reject, but I actually don't give a toss. And it made me think, fuck, if I could just do this all the time, that would be class. Yeah, but that's what public YouTube videos were so good at developing.
Is it easier when the stakes are lower? Because like something like that is like, oh, okay, this person's not going to conduct an interview with me. Whereas if you're going up to a girl on a night out to be like, can I get you a drink? Like,
I'd never go, can I get you a drink?
No, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like that scenario where the stakes are higher.
Where you build it up in your head too much as though it needs to be this thing. I think you are just, at the end of the day, you're interacting with a human being. It's just, the aim is to have a laugh. And if like, at the end of the day as well, sorry, this is another thing actually. Like I have mates that will instantly go in with banter that's maybe a bit outrageous, but if this girl is the type of person that they're going to get on with, the girl would get the banter off the bat, and if they act in like a what the fuck sort of way, well then it's probably
not the right person.
Yeah, not that the type of person that they'll probably get on with regardless. So rather than like beat around the bush and almost try to come in with the right way, almost just going in with how do I want to have fun? What's the sort of banter that I want to do? If they don't get it, well then at least I find out sooner rather than later that this person's probably not someone I get on with.
There's also that thing of when you are single, you put more pressure on yourself to go speak to people. Whereas if you're in a relationship, like I know you find this, like it's so easy to talk to women or whatever because you're not interested. Yeah. So you can have that as if you're just talking to like a bloke. Do you know what I mean? You can have that banter because you know there's no pressure.
Yeah. Like if you've got a single mate that you're out with and like they meet a girl and then you're like sitting down with her friend or something, it is like conversation is the easiest thing in the world because you're literally there's like nothing you're pursuing, there's nothing in it, no pressure. But if you were single, it's a completely different
in it.
That's why the wingmen are always the best wingman is always the one that's in the relationship. Because they don't care.
So basically, you need to get to that point of almost, I don't give a toss. I actually don't want to get with or meet anyone that I love or could potentially be the love of my life.
Yeah,
you have to just basically go, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually true.
That actually is.
But it's easier said than done when you actually are single and not in a relationship. Do you know what I mean?
So true.
And especially like if you're talking about it where you were talking about it from the perspective of where you think a girl might be out of your league, right?
No one's out of his league, mate.
But no, 100%.
But like, it's the intimidation side of it.
There's an element, basically, right? So if you're like very attractive females are probably getting approached all the time. I like to believe, given the opportunity, like give it a day with like someone that I'm potentially compatible with, like they would realize, and I would realize, like, yes, this is good, but that first initial, if you only have like the first impression to make an impression as to whether they're going to give you that opportunity to actually spend a day with them, can't fuck that first impression up. So it's kind of like you need to, in order, what am I getting at? Just basically, how do you get your foot in the door, mate?
Just take a chill pill.
No, innit? This is making me seem like such a beta. I'm actually not this fucking pussy hole, by the way.
But how do you struggle obviously with like...
I don't struggle, bro.
No, but like... What happens if you see this girl across the room and she's like, the love you, like you think, oh, yeah, I really fancy her. But then you get over and she's like 6 foot.
6 foot.
Or she's taller than you, like she's 5'8" or something. Like,
I'm 5'9" and 3/4.
do you think like if she was 5'8" and is taller than you, is that an issue?
Why is that a thing? No.
So you don't.
I've got
a lot of people
5'10" before.
But a lot of people do struggle with that. That's like a generic. That is actually a genuine thing.
What? Yeah, but what?
Yeah, but if you can physically see something, like Weller wouldn't be like, oh yeah, she looks short, and then walk up to her and be like, oh my god, she's massive. Like he would have seen that.
But across
Not
the room,
blind.
Yeah.
Across the room, it can be like.
No, yeah, okay. You can establish once you're actually in front of someone. Oh, actually, I'm not into them, as my brain was telling me.
Yeah.
And isn't it funny how your brain fills in the gaps? By the way, like you could just see someone and think they're attractive, and your brain almost starts filling in about how they're the love of your life, and you could see them as the mother of your child.
No, that's an actual thing, isn't it? Called like brain painting or something.
Brain painting, Luke. That's a new one.
I swear that's what it's actually called. Where like
as a creative,
your brain like fills all the gaps of like.
Let him talk.
You have it with
talk.
like little things.
Come on, Luke. Let him talk.
look, as a creative genius.
Oh, he's actually done it.
Look.
No, go ahead now.
Oh, okay. Oh, I won't. I could cook on this topic.
Go on. What do you want to say?
So, it's a gift and a curse, right?
What is?
Having a very creative imagination. Because at what point are you actually feeling something? And at what point is it just a product of your creative thinking, your overthinking?
That sounds so stressful.
No, but it's like, your brain can fill in the gaps in many ways, bruv. So like, how much is it like the idea that I've got of this person versus the reality of this person? Comprendes lo que estoy diciendo contigo?
Oh, mate, that's mental.
It's like, because your brain might be filling in like this love story, but the reality is she's actually only given you like 5% of that, and you've run away with it. You do that, don't you?
No.
I know you do.
That's something that is very commonly done after breaking up, like we referred to earlier. You all
bring that up, mate.
again,
Why
mate.
have you done that?
I wasn't talking about his breakup.
dog.
That wasn't about you at all. But after a breakup, like you do think about that sort of stuff. Like it's where you fill in all those gaps, and like sometimes you can fill them in with imaginary things that actually weren't there.
You got to find a way to put your brain on mute.
No, you do that. Look, end of the day, mate, you just got to be active.
Your brain must be mental.
No, mate, I know I come on here and seem like I'm a fucking Fruit Loop.
Not like that. As in just there's so much going on. There's this constant cogs
Yeah, but
turning.
mate, it's actually quite fun. It's called ADHD, bruv. And I think I'm coming down with it.
ADHD.
Yeah, like I've probably got ADHD. Brilliant. That's okay. I can use it and it's actually fun.
Superpower.
Did you actually, because obviously I think I mentioned this like a few episodes back, like we got quite a lot of emails saying like, Joe, I suffer from ADHD and I have it. You definitely have it. Is it like, how do you find out?
You probably need to be diagnosed, but my mind.
Yeah, that sounds like ADHD. God, you were in school. Were you quite good in exams?
Yeah. I can hyper-focus as well.
I think it affects people in
if I'm
different ways,
editing,
actually.
if I'm making a video, mate,
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
lock in.
moving from that seat and I'm editing it non-stop, like obsessed. But then also, if there's something I'm not that
It's because you're interested in it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get you.
And it's like, it's easy to accidentally overstimulate yourself. Like, I've been going on my phone way too much. I'm trying to replace the dopamine hit that I was getting from having a loving, gorgeous girlfriend. And obviously, yeah, like the brain's trying to like replace that.
What are you going to say your dopamine you got from Oktoberfest?
No,
You should have said.
No. Nothing compares to love, man. Like, actually, like,
Man.
and then I'm like, am I just missing female energy? Do I just need to try and replace it with other female energy? I don't want to be a slag. I don't want to do that, mate. Right?
You
Really?
definitely weren't lacking female energy, mate, in Barcelona.
Yeah, I was. We didn't speak to any girls.
No,
We were
unit.
just chatting with boys.
Oh.
We were just chatting. No, yeah, okay. There was some friendly having a laugh with females, but like not in an actual like deeper connected way. And I think that's like that's what you want, really. You just want someone to actually see you and,
Yeah, but
and
you-
love you.
No,
need it all
you
the-
have like peaks
You don't
and troughs.
really, mate. You don't really. Anyways,
But you go through different phases. I think where
mate,
you want one thing and then you want the other.
I go through different personalities every 25 minutes, brother. I could go from being world's most confident fucking legend, bruv. I'm a legend. No, I could go through being a off my tits. What am I going on about?
You could be the guru, or you could be the...
Oh yeah, I could be the guru, or I could be the
Anti-guru.
novice. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, please teach me, Theo Baker, about women, right?
Mate, if you think about it, Theo's actually got a solid track record.
Has he?
Yeah.
No, he has. Has he?
No, I think you are very good at holding down a stable relationship.
You are good at doing that, but like, how do you do that? Like, as in, like, do you like? Do you not ever sit there and analyze it, or do you don't think? Do you think like, is this?
What am I analysing? What am I analysing for?
Like, how does this actually make me feel? Like,
I'm happy.
oh, that's good.
But
Why,
surely,
why am I like? What do you know what I mean? Like, what am I analysing? There's nothing to analyse.
Maybe you don't see
Just ride the
other
wave.
things.
what do you mean other things?
There's just nothing to see.
Now, what do you mean
I
other
have
things?
awareness.
So do I.
What? Yeah, but he's obviously self-aware of his relationship.
Livy, you're too aware.
I'm too aware.
He's not making up scenarios in his head.
Yeah, like what's what I'm saying about your brain when it's creative. It can also be creative in sabotaging ways.
Like you could be lying in bed, like you could like his ex could like turn her back to him, and you could be like, "Why is she turning her back?"
No.
Oh.
No, but her mind did that to her. If I turned my back, her mind would be convinced that, like, subconsciously.
That's not.
We were both overthinkers,
That's not healthy.
but it's like, what does an overthinker do, man? Can any overthinkers message in on the comments that I don't really read, but Luke does, or
Why
maybe
don't you
email
read
us,
them?
or maybe I don't read comments because I'm like, maybe it's that thing of like I get hit by the rejection thing. So if someone goes, "Fucking hell," Weller clearly looks like he's going through a tough time,
Yep.
but pretending like everything's okay, I'll be like, "Fuck, they can tell."
But is that a superficial thing? Is that about the way you physically look?
Sometimes, but I feel like you can see how someone's actually getting on via their aura, and it's like if their aura is high, man, then you can feel that.
I will say, I'm going to read before we end. I want to read you something.
We don't need to end yet, surely.
We've got a guest coming in 7 minutes.
Nah, isn't she coming at 2?
What time's she
So
coming?
we might need to fill in the gap because that early part there was a lot of fucking dead space, I reckon.
No, it wasn't. It was
There was
great.
a little bit. There was a
I
little.
want to read. I want to read you. I want to read you some because I know you're scared of reading them.
Go on, Theo. Read out a comment.
This is definitely the best podcast. I feel
It
like
is!
I feel like it's a therapy session. Spread mental awareness for men.
And girls
Yeah.
and little
No,
boys.
but I think that.
oh, fuck
It always
it.
fucks everything up.
The men thing is definitely important though because men don't talk about feelings.
Mate, men, I'll be real, fucking talk because, like, even linking up with the boys in Barcelona, like hearing some of the stuff that some of them have gone through in silence.
Yeah.
Because us as a group, we're quite opinionated. We're quite, if anything, judgmental at points. It can feel like you can't say something because you're just going to have the piss taken out of you.
Yeah.
Literally, like what we've just said, everyone takes the piss out of each other.
But also
here.
there are the
But
deepest.
fucking hell, we were having conversation that was just so helpful. And like, we can do both. Like, if on a level I came to you boys and were like, hang about this, how I'm actually feeling.
Of course.
I know you would actually hear me out. And I think realistically, how do we make people realize that we're all actually going through these different things that are can be quite hurtful and painful. But if we all spoke about them, we'd realize we're all going through them.
And also, it doesn't just mean like sitting down and speaking. Like, for example, like when the boys go play golf.
Yeah.
Like, if your girlfriend or partner or whatever says, "Oh, why are you playing golf?" Like, I get it if you do it every day, but that's a really good opportunity. That's 4 hours these guys have just to themselves, no headphones.
Yeah.
And all they're doing is just talking. And that's very important. It's different scenarios that you do that.
Sometimes, even if you've got a girlfriend, the love of your life, the boys need the boys. The girls need the girls as well.
Yeah. You can't expect to get everything that you need from one person.
Yeah.
And that is the trap that you fall into. I definitely did that, where you end up, if you fall in love with someone, you just spend all your time with them.
Yeah.
And subconsciously, your brain is wanting everything that it needs from that person that you're around. And they just will never be able to give you everything.
I used to get like begged by Ruth.
You used to get bent over by Root.
No.
He's finally opening up.
Yay!
Open up now,
And I
darling.
also didn't say pegged, I said begged. I used to get begged by Ruth to go on nights out with the boys because I'd become like intolerable at home if I
Yeah.
didn't like have like
Fucking hell.
some sort of outlet. No,
Please leave me.
no, but that is exactly how it would be.
Yeah.
Because you need to like, I feel like you need to spread your time across.
Well,
like,
as we say,
different
Luke,
people.
we say this all the time on the show. You know, a relationship is two individuals that come together, but also two individuals. So you do need that individual time.
No, you do. You
very
do.
true.
And when you like love them so much, you just want to spend.
Get out, got to know it out. Just
Yeah.
fuck off already.
Hey, yeah, but I mean, I
It's
feel
true, though.
like you end up sometimes. I've definitely been guilty of this, of treating Ruth like she's just one of the boys. If I haven't seen the boys enough, I start like treating her like one of the boys, like banter wise and stuff.
What's up, bitch? What you doing?
Bitch.
I would
That's
never.
what he calls you, but no one else. No, I didn't
That's
mean
what he
that.
called
No, I didn't mean that.
I would never call her bitch.
No, I'd never do that as well. It's actually really out of order.
But
I know what you mean though. It's like you treat her as more of a mate rather than a girlfriend.
yeah, because you need to have a little bit of time with the boys, and like sometimes if I don't see you boys or the other
Yeah.
boys for a long enough time, I start to miss them, and then I'll start like acting like
I do miss
Ruth's
her.
one of them. Oh fuck.
I love her so much.
Ruth.
No.
Anyways, Luke can't get a word in.
Yeah, what do you
Need
mean?
an episode where he opens up a bit. Carry on.
We try and give him. This is what you need to understand. We try and give him the opportunity, right? Try and be like, "How's your feelings, man?" But I don't think you like the idea of talking about your feelings because everyone has them, mate.
But what do you mean by feelings?
I don't know, like
emotions.
emotions.
You know what a feeling is,
like
brother.
things that you maybe think when you're by yourself, and you may think, like, do you just not have any of that?
No, I do. But like I'm generally like in a pretty good place. Like I'm really glad that Wafflin is back. I'm really glad that it's doing well. When I go home, I'm content. I'm in a happy relationship.
Fucking hell, so your life's just perfect. But isn't it interesting then? Like perfection and living a happy life is boring.
It's not, no,
Imagine right now. Like, I'm not being funny. No offense, but imagine if all three of us were leading a happy, content, peaceful life.
Yeah, I know what you
fucking boring podcast, mate. You need crackhead over here, more normal man here.
Did you just call me a crackhead?
You're the crackhead.
I swear
of the
he
podcast.
has like a lovely, perfect
Okay,
life.
basically, your lives are fucking, and stabilities and mental headspaces are pretty stable at the moment. It's fucking lucky that I'm a oh, I can't say that. Fuck.
Just bleep it. Just
No.
bleep it.
Okay.
Just bleep that. Keep it in, but bleep
It's
it.
lucky that I'm here, there, and everywhere, and fluid.
I feel like I'm on like close to burnout.
Yeah, but what? Like at the end of the day, right? Do you know what I mean, Bav? I think coming forward and being authentic is I don't know. Do I say the same shit every week a little bit?
No, man.
Someone, right, actually, just to bring this up, my mum watched a program on someone that died temporarily for like a good few hours. They were dead, were brought back to life.
A few hours.
Yeah, they were
mad.
actually died. And what they saw and experienced whilst half dying was very similar, basically word for word, as my mushroom trip of what they saw, what they were shown, and the place that we're all from in another dimension. And I thought that was fucking mental as she was reciting it all. I was like, wow.
But
I've seen it, bro.
could that
You saw the afterlife.
No, I've seen where we're all from, and it's fucking brilliant.
Could
I
that
can't wait
just-
to get Cal Freezy on this show, by the way, because he
Had a
was
lot of questions.
wanting to know about the mushroom trip, and I don't know, like maybe we'll save it for when he comes on.
Yeah.
could that not just be that we're all like every single brain is like formed of the same material?
No,
But we are. That is true, though.
no, that's humanifying it. That's this we are far.
Well, no,
beyond-
that is true. Like every brain is made up of like
yeah, brain
cells.
Yeah, but we're not just that. Anyways, we've spoken about that way too much to you.
We're
boys.
interconnected
I've
to a
been
higher being.
rejected every time, and my fear of rejection does get amplified. By
You actually haven't
boys.
been rejected. You just don't like the debate on the other side.
No, I do. It's just, but all it is shut it down. Shut it down.
No, it's
shut
not.
it down.
Shut it down.
Do you know what we should do?
It's about different-
Fucking go and do big mushroom dose with me.
See, this is where you're wrong right now, Joe.
Let's go do.
You
big
think we're
fucking
shutting it
10
down?
gram ceremonial.
No,
and
look at you.
we will see it all together, boys.
You think we're shutting it down, but we're not. We just have a different point of view.
You said you're scared. No, because you haven't been there. Fair enough.
Myself is
If you
scared.
experienced it, and then we all have our point of views, brilliant. But it's where like you haven't. So it's like being like me talking about going Mumbai, and you boys ain't been. I've probably got more of a stance to comment on it because I've been.
True
You
dat.
haven't, and that's all I'm saying. We should all then go and do a ceremonial dose, and then see where we go from there. But you said you're too scared. Is that right?
I never said I was too scared.
What did you say?
Said I'm a little bit scared.
Right.
Not
You
too.
are a bit scared.
Not too. A
It's
little,
like-
like going
You are scared.
to that extent. What? So you'd do it, would you?
I'll fucking do it.
Fuck off. You're a liar.
2 versus 1. You're doing it.
Mate, I'm not scared. You're scared.
No, but he's just saying this
You're
for the
seeing
camera.
reality. By
He's
the way-
openly said off camera that he wouldn't do it.
Prove it.
Well, it's
I'm not
just
scared. You're scared.
basically you've got to see it as this. You're basically who's up for going to see the reality of what actually is beyond this
Mate,
human
I'll take a one-way
earthly
trip
world.
to the afterlife. Why
Like
not?
that is
one-way
basically
trip.
where
You
you're
want a
saying,
return
I want a
ticket.
return journey.
and it's
yeah.
just if you want to see that and see who you really are.
But what happens
and
if
if
I
that would scare you.
What happens if I just don't? I just see a couple of aliens and that.
You probably all you'll see is what actually is.
We'll see the enlightenment.
Maybe.
That is quite a vague statement.
I'll walk
though.
up and see a bunch
See
of
that?
clouds.
See what is? Yeah, but if you'd experience it, you'd understand what that means.
But have you asked every single human on Earth who's done mushrooms if they saw the light?
Saw the light.
Well, you know you're the light.
Not always. That's the thing. Like but the fact I did the meditation retreat before the trip, like the 3 days, I actually think that is what almost like made that more viable
Like
to occur.
the meditation retreat was putting the key in,
It's
and the mushrooms
almost-
was unlocking.
Kind of. And I just wonder if we all did a meditation retreat for 3 days and then went and did a ceremonial mushroom trip, I think we would.
Yeah, I completely understand you, but I just like, don't really have time for that.
Fair play, bro.
Yeah, I just don't have time for meditation retreats. Just fucking crack on with life and get going. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just like,
What do
bro,
you mean you don't have time for it?
I don't have time to spend 3 days in the forest staring at a wall.
But it's not. See, that's
No, but that's not what it is.
yeah.
The meditation retreat, like, obviously, I can't argue with anything there. Like, or put across other points. That is like,
Do you have saunas?
No.
but
But
like,
that's the thing. If you're okay with what your limited knowledge of what is, then that's okay. And if you're content, you're like, you know what? How I've got it right now is stable. I know, and I'm comfortable here. Don't really fancy knowing anymore. Then fair play.
no, but this.
Live your lie.
So this.
But if you did want to know what is actually real and what is more factual, then join me, partner.
Oh yeah, I'll start. I'll have the enlightenment and say, "Fucking hell, I was also in the Vietnam War, same as you."
But that's my argument to you. Is not. I literally am not saying what you experienced was real or fake. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Surely you also have to be open to the fact that it could have just all been inside here.
That's your perception.
That's my
of what
own.
happened.
That's my only
Okay.
argument. The same way that I'm completely open to everything you experienced inside
Okay.
that trip
All right. I'm open.
could have
to that.
been factually true.
Are you open to that?
I'm open to
Or
that.
you sat with your hands crossed?
I'm open to that, but I think it's where it's very much like, oh, that Buxton bottle just fell on the floor, and now it's you being like, you have to be open that didn't just happen. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
You're not open.
do you know what I mean? It's kind of like something happening, and then you just being like, you have to, you know. It's like ultimately, like, but like if it makes you sleep at night, then I'll say that I'm open to it of not happening.
But it's the same way about overthinking, right? You overthink certain things and then you feel anxiety and it's like, would that happen?
Yeah, it's actually more useful.
It's a real feeling.
More useful to know and maybe not be as aware to things than being too aware, because when you're too aware, you comprehend and try to take in too much. Anyways, that's a pretty cool
excited to do it.
story, bro. And also, sorry, just one extra thing, that this person who died temporarily, they were shown the whole thing of like absolutely everything that you're going through, the pain, the good, the bad, all of it is absolutely on purpose. And it's why you've come here. Nothing is by mistake. And when they were saying that, and oh, mate, it was like,
So do you
yeah.
not believe
So-
in the butterfly?
So me going through, yeah, but the butterfly effect.
How is that relevant?
No, is it what it's in? It's like cause and
Yeah.
effect.
Yeah.
But ultimately,
Chaos theory.
nothing's by accident. You'll get to where you'll go through and experience what you're meant to one way or another. Even if you decide, oh, I'm going to just cover my eyes, or I'm going to run into that park. Both options will. It's like that fucking short film that I made at the end where I said, ignore, react. Is life inevitable?
Oh,
Was
shit.
the moral of the story at the end of this short film. And I wonder if that was
Jacket.
me getting a premonition.
Nah,
Fucking hell, the
premonition.
video with the fucking thing was called Premonition
Yeah,
as
it
well.
was.
Is that me getting a premonition of, is no matter what you do, is life inevitable?
And like that's
is
already in your head. And then when you take the mushrooms, you start
fucking
tracing
hell.
back in the. I'm taking
No,
the
but,
piss.
yeah, well,
No,
I get what you mean, though. I get what you mean.
To some extent, like, I agree with that thing of like, some things just seem like absolutely like destined to happen.
Yeah.
yeah, like, is there some things that you need to go through in this lifetime, one way or another? You will, whatever, and that's why, like, that's why you don't need to try. And what we're talking about, going out of our way. Like when I went and approached like my ex-girlfriend, I didn't even have to like try and make myself go over there. I just sort of did. I just did, and I'm like, because that interaction was that was inevitable, and that always had to happen. So when things are right, you won't even have to think, fuck, how do I figure this out of the way in which to do this correctly? It will just happen. You will just get the drive. You'll get the pull to go and do that thing because it's meant for you.
You know, when you like, it sounds a bit mad, but when you bump into like a friend of yours, like in the middle of London, you had no idea you're going to be there. Like, what are the actual chances of that happening, or have that happened for a reason?
Yeah, like no matter how,
why have I bumped into my friend?
small or big the interaction is, or whatever.
To be in that shop at that
like,
time in that city.
Yeah, is there an inevitability
There you go.
to life?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I've been watching
You're doing that thing.
you from afar.
You're doing that thing again.
What thing?
Where maybe you're scared of reality.
I'm not
You're
scared.
acting out.
We do always maybe act. Okay, let me be total just Joe right now.
Let me be real
I'm
with you.
I'm not going to elevate my voice.
No.
I'm going to talk as normal as though the podcast isn't even rolling because everyone has switched off by now. I know that you have.
I don't actually think that's how you speak normally. I think
How do I speak normally?
you're quite an elevated speaker anyway, I think.
Get it out. No. I was trying to do like what I might do. I do get off on the idea of trying to make people laugh.
Well, Joe, we're going to have to end it there because our guest is here for next episode.
Yeah, so this is how we film things. We actually do 2 episodes in one day, like one with the boys and one with a guest.
Because I'm going to Australia.
How cool is that we can double record? Anyways,
Yeah,
if you did enjoy us, if you do want to kiss us, you can do that in the comments, right? By saying, "Hi, Joe, I like your t-shirt." And also, will you like meet me for... No.
No.
Anyways,
right.
right.
Just end it before you incriminate yourself.
Leave a like rating, listen to us on Spotify, and like, we love you.
Subscribe, get us to 1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we get to 1 million before the end of today?
And if I land this bottle flip, they have to subscribe.
Okay. Oh! See ya!